DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, lunch break vlog. Yes. I'm not going to walk actually really into the deeper woods because every now and then we've got these wind bursts. And yeah, the trees are kind of tall and thin here, so you can see. So yeah, as you can imagine, I'm not going to go into the woods. But still, there are trees around here anyway, but this is kind of a safer place. Yeah. So what about today? Well, I was listening to someone a couple days ago was talking about inner voices. And I was thinking at one point, it was a therapist. I can't remember his name right now. But it was kind of like, when do you go from, like when does schizophrenia almost kick in? It was kind of an interesting talk because many of us, have, and I'm not talking about our masks that we use, but that we talk to each other, meaning each person. Oh, let me start that over again. We have different modes or personalities or voices within us that almost talk to each other. Like if you're on a panic mode, you might actually comfort yourself. You've got to learn, almost how to, different parts of your personality actually sometimes have to intervene with the other part of your personality to, redo an equilibrium sometimes, things like that. So let me see, I am coming nevertheless where the woods are. Well, let's just kind of stay here, I guess. Yeah, so the thing was, it was like, okay, when do those conversations that you have with yourself, when do they kind of revert to what one would call split personalities? I was thinking about that in a way. I was thinking, yeah, this is kind of deep stuff. In a way, I guess it's that when all of a sudden, that when you're talking to yourself, there's parts of you that are reasoning with yourself. And I guess when you're got real split personalities or schizophrenic, is that the voices take over and they have, almost you could say, they're on their own. They're not. You feel that they're not you, I guess. People maybe that have split personalities. Some of you are out there would be able to tell me if this kind of makes any sense. What is the relationship between, I don't like to use this word, but let's say the normal personalities that are different components of yourself that talk to each other, and the difference between a real split personality when you hear voices and they start to tell you about things. I guess you kind of get what I'm going at. It was a pretty interesting story, but the fact is that it was all a bit of getting to know yourself. That was part of the whole story in this, is that if the more you get to know yourself and to reveal, we could almost say, yourself to yourself. I know that doesn't seem to make any sense, but it does actually. Is that sometimes we have things that we almost hide even from ourselves. We can hardly believe that we could be that way, or it's too different to our upbringing and so on. And sometimes when that gets too extreme, it seems that you can verse into, real split personalities. Okay, anyway, that was kind of different to what I was usually thinking of, and I thought, well, okay, why not share it a little bit? It is different to when we put on masks. Because putting on a mask, you're wearing a mask. It's different. It's a disguise. And some of those masks, well, the masks tend to hide who you are, don't they? I guess we could say you can layer the mask in a way that even you wouldn't know who's behind it. But, then we're getting into the first conversation that I was talking about. It's starting to rain. Okay, well, so as you can see, we've got kind of weird weather. We've been having big winds and everything, so I don't know what's going to be going on in the next few days. I hope that the wind won't last. I mean, that these windstorms will kind of fall down over the weekend, because I want to trim my trees, because spring is coming along fast. And with spring coming along fast, that means that the trees will be budding before long, and that's when you should not trim them. And it's time for the tree vlog before long, so I should be doing that as well. Yeah. Anything else? Not much. That was a weird enough vlog anyway. There was a person up there. Oh goodness, it is starting to rain pretty heavily. I was going to say, there's a person up where I usually eat that was out with one of these little bicycles, and I could see the lady seemed extremely annoyed when I came up, and I felt like saying, "Hey lady, this is my usual place." I mean, I'm getting off on another tangent, but I mean, you know the way we can appropriate things. I mean, look how we have our bus seats, or stuff like that, our seats in church. For those of you who go to church, you probably end up always sitting pretty well in the same places, don't you? And so on. Okay, enough of that. Split personalities. I guess we all are a little bit split up, aren't we, with our YouTube world, our online world, and the so-called real world. Split personalities. DC signing off. I gotta get out of the rain. Bye.